here's a quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are Tsunoda, Piastri, Norris, Russell and Leclerc. Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are Norris, Russell and Leclerc. And just behind us are Iwasa, Ricciardo and Doohan. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:30.6. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda and George Russell. With qualifying wrapped up, hello and welcome from the circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. Now, it's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt, the feature of many a highlights reel. So let's hope we see more of those in the race today. Mastering a lap of Paul Ricard means getting to know 15 corners. 6 go to the left and 9 go to the right, for an overall lap distance of 3.6 miles. The two halves of the long Mistral Straight are separated by a heavy braking zone into a potential overtaking hotspot at the chicane. And watch out for drivers running onto the distinctive coloured stripes, which are low in grip and highly abrasive. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Norris, Leclerc, Doohan, Iwasa, Ricciardo, Daniel, Yuri Vips, Albon, Théo Pourchaire, Williams, Novalak, Liam Lawson, Stroll, Sargent, Richard Verschoor, Magnussen and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway here on the south coast of France. Every driver will be caring for their tyres in this race, especially in the final sector. As in previous races, the tyres have been known to struggle at that point. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
Okay, mate, that was an illegal manoeuvre. You've got to cede that position or we'll receive a penalty. Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Okay, red flag, mate, red flag. No overtaking, please. We'll see you in the pit lane. Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed... There's a good chance to change our strategy for the rest of the Grand Prix if we want to. Okay. Wait in just a moment. Stand by. We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button. Oscar ahead. They're on fresh softs. Oscar's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap. Okay, you just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Okay, be aware the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. 5/10. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
And here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé after a fantastic race. Anthony Davidson, what What helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Daniel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Oscar Piastri gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Thanks. I know these kinds of decisions can be challenging, but I think you made the right call.